Well, good day, scholars, and welcome back. I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope you did something fun and enjoyed yourself. I have missed being able to see you, but at least I'm able to be with you by video. So let's get started. Before we begin, you should have already used the restroom. We don't want to go during class. You should have picked up any handouts on the table and found your new seat. Our first order of business today is the Patriot Preview. Since I am not there to grade it on paper, we're going to do it in Google Classroom. So at this time, please open up your computer, log into Google Classroom, into My Class, and find today's Patriot Preview. It is a review of the subject-verb agreement concepts that we covered last week. You are allowed to work in pairs, that's 2 people, if you prefer. You have 10 minutes to complete this, so at this time we're going to pause the video, and in 10 minutes we will resume. Before we get into today's lesson, let's take another look at Anne Frank. As our story begins, Anne is a 13-year-old girl. She is being held in secrecy, but she has not been kidnapped. She is there for her protection. Her story takes place in the early 1940s, and it's a true story. Anne is Jewish, and members of the Nazi Party want to eliminate the entire Jewish race. But during this ordeal, Anne keeps a diary in which she describes her daily experiences. On Monday and Tuesday of this week, we are going to learn some context. And as you remember from last semester, context is background information that helps us to better understand the text. You'll need to write that in your notes, so if needed, pause the video to do that. Most of our context will be about the Holocaust. Now, the Holocaust was a time in which over 6 million Jewish people were killed by the Nazi Party. What was their crime? Their crime was simply being Jewish. That's why Anne and her family were in hiding. As we begin, let's watch this short video documentary produced by the History Channel, which explains the rise of the Nazi Party and the beginning of the Holocaust.
In September 1919, a former amateur artist and army veteran named Adolf Hitler joined the ranks of the German Workers' Party, later known as the Nazis. It was a decision that would have a profound impact not only on Germany, but the entire world. The atrocities committed by the Nazis at the height of their power are staples of every lesson on World War II. But just how did a democracy like Germany fall under the sway of a tyrant in the first place? It all goes back to Germany's loss to the Allies in World War I. German leaders were forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles, agreeing to shrink its armed forces, give up land, and pay large sums of money in reparations, weakening its already unstable economy. Many Germans felt humiliated and betrayed by their leadership, and there was growing fear that their nation would be stuck in poverty and decline. In this climate of bitterness, Hitler rose to prominence. A gifted public speaker, he captured the people's disillusionment with a series of speeches calling for a stronger, unified Germany. He insisted that one group was to blame for the nation's post-war misfortunes: the Jews. Hitler and his followers attempted a government coup in 1923, but the plan failed. Hitler was jailed for treason for 9 months, but the publicity from the failed coup made him more popular than ever. Then, in 1929, the Great Depression hit, destroying the German economy overnight and leaving millions unemployed. Hitler saw the ensuing chaos as his opportunity to seize power. He loudly criticized the ruling government and promised to return Germany to greatness. Long-suffering Germans believed they had finally found their savior. In Germany's 1932 elections, the Nazis won a majority of seats in parliament, and Hitler ran for president. Though he lost, his soaring popularity inspired President Paul von Hindenburg to appoint him Chancellor, the head of the German government. As Chancellor, Hitler wasted no time tightening his grip on every aspect of German life. He tripled the size of the military, violating the Treaty of Versailles. Under Hitler's orders, rival parties were banned, while paramilitary groups cracked down on protests and executed political opponents. Anti-Semitic laws prohibited Jews from working, voting, and occupying public spaces. A propaganda department produced art, films, and books praising Hitler and embracing his vision of a better Germany. After the death of President von Hindenburg in 1934, Hitler declared himself Führer, an absolute dictator. With Germany under his total control, Hitler would shift his focus to global domination, setting the stage for World War II.